Yo, this is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel. And I'm going to talk about part 5 of the professional sports teams that didn't win a championship during that season. This is part 5. We're talking about the New York Knicks, 1993 New York Knicks, a team that definitely should have won a championship in 1993. They had the best record in the Eastern Conference. They were 60-22. Before the season began, they made a lot of changes. Number one, they traded Mark Jackson, who was the leading point guard to the Clippers, LA Clippers, in exchange for Bo Kimball, Charles Smith, and Doc Rivers. And they also picked up Herb Williams and Orlando Blackman. Orlando Blackman was very underrated, good player, all-star. So you think on paper, okay, the Knicks got the chance to really, take these moves and put into place to win a championship. Fortunately, it didn't happen. Despite having a 60-22 record, despite being the number 1 seed, despite being that elite team that they should have been, they lost the Bulls again, and the Bulls had the Knicks number. Number 1, the Bulls beat the Knicks in '89. That year, the Knicks had the home court advantage. They were a higher seed than the Bulls. And the Bulls ended up winning that series in 6. They just couldn't stop Jordan. And other reasons too, but Jordan was the main reason, obviously. 91, they got swept by the Bulls. 92, Pat Riley comes in as the head coach, and the Knicks improved to 51-31. They overachieved, and they took the Bulls to 7 games in a grueling 7-game series. Xavier McDaniel got into it with Jordan in Game 7. They lost in Game 7, 110-81. Jordan had about 42 points, and that showed that the Knicks had to get better. So they made changes in the whole season, got what they needed, and this looked like this was gonna be the year for the Knicks, because at that time they couldn't get past the Bulls, and they made the moves. Like I said, Mark Jackson was traded for Charles Smith, Bo Kimball, and Doc Rivers. Not against Bo Kimball, but the 2 key guys was Charles Smith and Doc Rivers, because they was in the starting lineup for most of that season, and as well as in the playoffs, obviously. So Rivers and Starks was in the back court. The front court, you had Smith, Oakley, and Ewing. After Mason came off the bench. So that was how they was constructed. This is a team that can beat the Bulls. And they were up 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now let's look back. The Knicks beat Indiana in 4 games. And then the second round they beat Charlotte Hornets in 5 games. Then the showdown of showdowns, they played the Bulls again. Eastern Conference Finals, this time in the Garden. Knicks got the home court advantage. They were 16-22. Meanwhile, the Bulls were 57-25 and very beatable. Rightfully so. It wasn't as good as they was the last couple of years. So here's a chance for the Knicks to finally get over that hump and beat the Bulls. But despite winning games 1 and games 2, they didn't seal the deal. Now Starks in Game 2 dumped over Jordan and Horace Grant. Jordan didn't play well in the first 2 games. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well. He lost 98-90, 96-91. Those are the scores. The first game I think was 98-90, and the second game was 96-91. Jordan didn't play particularly well in the first 3 games, even though they went back to Chicago. Also, he had the gambling situation in Atlantic City by Jordan. So the Knicks in the Bulls series had a long layoff from Tuesday to Saturday, because they started the series on Sunday, May 23rd. And then they played again on Tuesday, May 25th, and then they played to Memorial Day weekend. So they lost 103-83, I believe. Jordan shot like 3 of 18 from the field, hit his free throws, but he didn't play particularly well as far as shooting the basketball. Pippen picked it up. Paxson played pretty good off the bench. But the game that turned around for Jordan was in Game 4 on Memorial Day. He scored 54 points. He shot 18 out of 30, hit 6 3-pointers, I believe, 6 out of 9 3-pointers, and he scored 54 points. And he was able to just light up the Knicks like he always did, regular season or playoffs. And they won 105 to 95. That was the final score in that matchup. 10-point win for the Bulls. So now the Knicks back is against the wall. So you got Game 5 on the horizon. Knicks was tough at home at that time. And they lose, unfortunately, 97-94 now. The Knicks was winning that game 94-92, but B.J. Armstrong hit a big-time three-point shot. He was one of the leaders in three-point shooting that year. So he came through in the clutch. You talk about John Paxson, you talk about Steve Kerr later on during the Bulls dynasty. But B.J. Armstrong was a big shot maker too. He made a big three. I think he was like the best three-point shooter, like as far as percentage threes. Gotta double check that, but hit a big three against the Knicks to put them up 95-94. So then the Knicks get the ball in the fourth quarter, and now the Knicks got to bounce back. They got to answer back, trying by 1 point. Starks had the ball, then he gave it up to Ewing. Ewing was kind of like sloppy with the ball. He dribbled, lost it, and then it came into the hands of Charles Smith. And this is when it got crazy because Charles Smith had a chance to score on a dunk or go a little harder, draw a foul, kept getting his shot blocked. There was no foul. He just got a shot blocked. Great job by the Bulls. They surrounded him and they was able to get the ball and block the shot. And then Jordan got the ball, dribbled it, and passed it to Armstrong, and he laid it up at the buzzer, which he didn't have to do because they was playing by 1 point. And then Charles Smith slammed the basketball in frustration, and the Bulls won a heartbreaking game for the Knicks and a big win for the Bulls on the road to break through. Because at that time, in that series, it was all about the home court. The Knicks won the first 2 games at home, held serve, and the Bulls held serve on their home court in games 3 and 4, respectively. So Game 5 was the game that was going to be the turning point. But the road team and the Bulls, they got it done to show their championship medal, and they was able to win. And they was able to win the series in 6, 96-88. Took the Knicks home again for the third consecutive year, 91, 92, and 93. 3 years in a row. So the Knicks failed to get to the finals. They will get to the finals the following year and lose to the Houston Rockets, but that was without Jordan. Jordan was in retirement. But you look at the Knicks team of that 92-93 team. The 93 Knicks, that team should have won the championship that year. That was Patrick Ewing's best team. They won 60 games. They lost only 22 games. The moves that they made put them in place to be where they were. Getting Randall Blackman, making a trade Mark Jackson to get Doc Rivers and Charles Smith. Not against Bo Kimmel, but he wasn't a key cog. It was those 2 guys, Smith and Rivers. They definitely made a contribution to make the Bulls tough. But they just didn't have enough. And the thing about Ewing in his career, he never had that secondary superstar, even though they had a chance to beat the Bulls that year, despite the Bulls having Jordan and Pippen and company. The Knicks, during that period of time, as a Knicks fan, I used to be a Knicks fan back in the day. They played the Bulls the toughest than any team during that Bull run. Against Indiana, yes, they took the Bulls to 7 games, but the Knicks teams, 92, 93, even 96, when the Bulls won 72 games, those games were pretty close at times, but they played the Bulls very tough. They wasn't intimidated by the Bulls. They wasn't all Michael Jordan. They wanted to beat Jordan very badly. They couldn't do it. I think Ewing didn't have that secondary score, that superstar. Even though he didn't have it at that time in 93, they still should have won that championship. That's why I'm doing this video about the professional sports teams that didn't win the championship during that season. Teams that were great, teams that were really, really good, true contenders, but they fell short during that season. The Knicks of 1993 epitomized that. The Knicks just had, their struggles against that Bulls team. And they never beat the Bulls when Jordan was in the lineup. Never the Bulls would win the championship. They went through the Knicks, 91, 92, 93, and 96. And that was it. I don't think they ever faced each other since in the playoffs. I don't believe that the last time they played in the playoffs, I got a double check, was in 1996. I don't think they have played each other since then. Look at the rest of the 90s, look at the rest of the 2000s, look at whatever it is. So that was a very interesting time, and like I said, I double checked. Had the Knicks and the Bulls played each other after that 96 season, and they lost in about 5 games. I'm gonna double check. And I'll talk about when I do a video about the best professional teams, sports teams that didn't win a championship during that season. So that concludes this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Subscribe, likes, comment. The best yet to come with this content. This is part 5 of the professional sports teams that didn't win a championship during that season. Part 5. The 1993 New York Knicks. A team that should have won a championship. They were 16-22. And as a Knicks fan at that time, which I've been stopped liking the Knicks, but at that time, that was a really, really good Knicks team that should have won a championship, because the Bulls were vulnerable. They were beatable. They only won 57 games and lost 25 games. They were not as good. But they had Michael Jordan, they had Pippen, they had enough to get past the Knicks and win a championship for the 3rd consecutive year, beating the Phoenix Suns, who was 62-20 and had Barkley. I may talk about them next, because they were really good in 92, 93. But that concludes this video. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll do another video as far as this series is concerned on Monday. Until then, talk to you soon.